Have you noticed something that most people haven't got wind of yet? The world's central banks are buying gold at one of the fastest rates in modern history, and they're not doing it by accident. The People's Bank of China, the National Bank of Poland, the Reserve Bank of India, the Central Bank of Turkey, the Czech National Bank, the National Bank of Kazakhstan, and the Monetary Authority of Singapore have all added significant amounts of gold to their reserves in recent years. Many other central banks are doing the same. Why? Because gold carries no counterparty risk. It can't be printed, it isn't someone else's debt. During periods of inflation, rising government debt, geopolitical tensions, sanctions, and uncertainty surrounding the future of reserve currencies, central banks often increase their gold holdings as a way to diversify their reserves and strengthen confidence in their financial systems. If the institutions responsible for managing national reserves are increasing their exposure to physical gold, it's worth asking, what do they see coming that the average person is overlooking? At Cost Metals, we believe financial education comes first. Physical gold and silver have helped preserve purchasing power for thousands of years, and they can play a role in a diversified long-term financial strategy. Don't wait until everyone is talking about gold. By then, you'll wish you had started sooner. Learn from history, diversify wisely, and begin stacking physical gold and silver and other precious metals.
Peace, guys. My name is Quahar Montgomery, an independent affiliate of Cost Metals. What if I told you one agreement signed over 50 years ago still affects the value of your money today? In 1974, after the U.S. dollar was no longer backed by gold, the United States helped establish what became known as the Petrodollar system. Saudi Arabia agreed to price its oil exports primarily in U.S. dollars, and many other oil-producing nations followed. Because every major economy needs oil, countries around the world had to acquire and hold U.S. dollars to buy it. This created consistent global demand for the dollar and helped reinforce its role as the world's dominant reserve currency for decades. Now fast forward to today. The conflict involving the United States and Iran, along with tensions surrounding the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important oil shipping routes, has once again reminded the world how closely energy markets, geopolitics, and the financial system are connected. Even as diplomatic efforts continue, uncertainty over oil supplies and global trade can influence markets and investor confidence. History teaches us that whenever uncertainty rises, many investors and central banks look for assets that have preserved value across generations. That's one reason central banks have been rapidly and consistently increasing their gold reserves in recent years. The lesson isn't to react out of fear. The lesson is to prepare with knowledge. At Cost Metals, we help families diversify by acquiring physical gold and silver, tangible assets that have served as recognized stores of value for thousands of years. Don't wait for the next headline to remind you why preparation matters. Learn from history, build with confidence, and start acquiring physical gold and silver with Cost Metals today. Message me to learn how to get started. Peace and blessings, my friends.